my wheels. Make sure they're not all the way in so that I can pick them out later if I need to. And you can see them from the mirror as well. So I'm ready to start my pre-trip inspection. My wheels are chalked for safety. This truck is equipped with an ABS system, so we don't have to drain the tanks, but I can check it every day with the wet tank here. I have my jockey box, it opens. My first aid kit, flashlight, safety triangles, fire extinguisher, which is in range. My jockey box closes properly. I have my fuel tank cap, it's tight, the seal is present, I check it when I refuel. Def fuel cap is tight, seal is present, I check it when I refuel. All 4 batteries are tight and secure, no corrosion, bolts are present. I'm going to do my under the hood inspection. Truck is sitting level, there's no debris, there's no leaks. I have my safety inspection sticker on the truck here. It's valid until September 2025. On my trailer here, it's valid until September 2025 as well. Under the hood here, I have 2 fenders, hood mount, and a fuse box mounted securely. There's no damage. My steering shaft mounted securely. There's no excessive play. Connected by U-joints both sides. My air filter, foot valve, and wiper motor mounted securely. No damage. All air lines are connected. There's no cracks, damage, or audible leaks. I have my clutch fuel cap. It's tight. It's at max level. All my hoses are connected. There's no cracks or damage. All clamps are tight. None missing. My coolant is within range. Max level. Cap is tight. Radiator, intercooler, fan shroud mounted securely. No damage. Fan blade is present. There's no blades missing. Fan belt present, it's not cracked or damaged. Fuel filter, oil filter, water pump, mounted securely, no damage. Check the oil. Oil is within range. I have my electrical connected to the headlights, no damage. I have 2 shocks, they're both mounted securely, there's no leaks. There's no damage to the frame. Air dryer mounted securely. Air lines are connected. No cracks or damage. Runs through the frame to the air compressor mounted in the frame of the tractor. Fuel water separator. Cap is tight. Mounted securely. Lines are connected. There's no leaks or damage. Power steering fluid. Cap is tight. It's at max level. There's no damage. Lines are connected, there's no leaks. I have my steering box, it's mounted securely, there's no damage, connected to the steering shaft. I have my front and rear hangers, leaf springs, U-bolt connected to the axle, there's no cracks or damage. I have my pitman arm, my drag link, and my tie rod is connected, no cracks or damage. Bolts are present, the pins are present, nothing missing. Brake chamber mounted securely with the air lines connected, no cracks, leaks, or damage. Check my push rod travel. Push rod travel is within 3/4 of an inch. There's no leaks on the inner hub, no cracks or damage to the inner rim, no bulges, cracks, or damage to the inner tire. Good air pressure, even wear, good tread. No bulges, cracks, or damage to the outside of the tire, no cracks or damage to the rim. All lug nuts are tight and secure, and there's no leaks on the outer hub. the top, the middle, and the bottom of the engine. There's no cracks or damage. Go to the other side. 2 fenders and a hood mount, mounted securely, no damage. Washer fluid cap is tight, it's at max level. Cabin filter, air filter, turbo, mounted securely, no damage. All hoses are connected. There's no cracks or damage, and all clamps are tight and present. I have my AC compressor and my alternator mounted securely, no damage. All the electrical lines are connected. Radiator, intercooler, fan shroud mounted securely, no damage. Fan blades present, there's no blades missing. Fan belt is present, there's no cracks or damage. No damage to the frame. The electrical lines are connected to the headlights, no damage. 2 shocks mounted securely, there's no leaks. My front and rear hanger connected to the leaf spring and U-bolt connected to the axle, no cracks or damage. My tie rod is connected, the bolt's present, pin is present, there's no cracks or damage. Brake chamber mounted securely, there's the airline connected, no leaks, cracks or damage. Push rod travel is within 3/4 of an inch. There's no leaks on the inner hub, no cracks or damage to the inner rim, no bulges, cracks or damage to the inner tire. Good air pressure, even wear, good tread. No bulges, cracks or damage to the outside of the tire, no cracks or damage to the rim. All lug nuts are tight and secure, and there's no leaks on the outer hub. The top, the middle, and the bottom of the engine, there's no cracks or damage. This completes my under the hood inspection. I'm going to go do the in-cab inspection. I'm going to start my in-cab pre-trip inspection. I'll start my engine so I can build air pressure. All my needles were responsive when I started the engine here. My seat is mounted securely. It's adjusted to myself for the seat is mounted securely. It's adjusted to me for the trip today. There's no damage. My seat belt works. There's no cracks or damage. Clips in and clips out. You please check yours. My windows go up and down all the way. I'm going to leave our windows open so I can hear the governor unload. Might have actually unloaded already. I have both my mirrors and my hood mirrors. They're mounted securely. There's no cracks or damage, and they're adjusted to me for the trip today. There's no cracks or damage on the windshield. My windshield wipers, they work, and the fluid works. There's no debris on the dashboard. It's mounted securely. There's no debris within the cab. My city horn works. My air horn works. The steering wheel is mounted securely. It's adjusted to me for the trip today, and there's no excessive play. I'm going to check my lights on my dash here. Left signal works. Right signal works. High beams works. And my four-way flashers work. I'm going to check my gauges here. I have my front axle temperature, rear axle temperature, oil temperature, RPM gauge, water temperature gauge. My fuel is just over quarter tank. I have enough fuel for the trip today. DEF fuel is full. My speedometer works. I'll show you when we're driving. My oil pressure is here. Primary air tank here. Secondary air tank here. Transmission temperature is here. That was the sound of my governor unloading. That's my handbrake for my trailer. I have my air application pressure gauge, air trailer pressure gauge, turbo pressure, and my air ride suspension pressure. I have 3 differentials. They're in the unlocked position. My 5th wheel slide is in the locked position. My air ride suspension is in the auto position. I'll check my air. My hot air works. My defrost works. And my air conditioning works. I'm going to check my dome light. Dome light's working. I'm going to check my map light. Map light works. Can you please check yours? My communication device is secure. I'm going to check my battery here as well. My battery's at 14.1 volts, tells me my alternator is working. I'm now going to fan down my brakes a little bit so that I can hear that the governor and the air compressor are working, and it reloads. So I'm just going to release my brakes. My wheels are chalked for safety. So I'm going to fan down to about 100 on my primary tank here. And I heard a sound change that tells me that my governor and air compressor are working. I'll just raise the RPM to 1200 and shows that my governor is at the loading stage. Okay, so both my secondary and primary tanks, the needles are both rising. So I know that that is working. My governor is working. Now I'm going to do my 1 minute brake application. I'm going to turn off my engine. My needles have stabilized. I'll start my timer. So I shouldn't lose more than 3 psi if I was just the bobtail. No more than 4 psi if I have a bobtail and 1 trailer. And no more than 6 psi if I have the bobtail and 2 trailers. So I'll just wait for the 1 minute here. My needles are holding steady on both primary and secondary tanks. I'm going to check my vehicle inspection report for this truck. It is valid until September 30th, 2025. And for the insurance on the truck, it's valid until September 19th, 2025. Trailer 1 I have hooked up today, September 26, 2025 for the insurance, and September 30th, 2025 for the trailer. I'm almost at 1 minute here. Haven't lost any air pressure. That's 1 minute. So that tells me I have no system. My next test is to fan down the brakes so that my low air warning system turns on, and check that my brakes dynamite. So I'm gonna pump the brakes here. The low air warning system should turn on at about 60 to 65 psi. There's my low air warning system, turn on at 65 psi. And my brakes should dynamite between 20 to 45 psi. There we go. Both my brakes have dynamited. So now I'm going to go check physically to make sure my brakes have dynamited. Just take my key out there. You can come with me if you like. Push rod travel. Push rod travel both sides is 0, and my slack adjuster is at 90 degrees. My brakes are applied. I'm going to check my tractor protection valve. To do that, I'm going to remove my glad hands. I'm going to apply the brake for 3 to 5 seconds and listen for any audible leaks. Okay, there was no leaks in the tractor protection valve. It tells me that it's working. All seals are present. There's no cracks or damage. My engine, I'm going to do my compression rebuild test. So I'm looking to make sure that my pressure increases from 50 to 90 psi within 3 minutes. So I'm going to raise my RPM to 1200 RPM. And then when my first gauge reaches 50 psi, I'm going to start my timer. about 50 psi, I'll start my timer on my secondary tank. But both needles have passed 90 psi. I'll start my timer. My low air warning is going to turn off pretty soon. Around 60 to 65 psi. Both my needles are rising. This test should not take more than 3 minutes. My secondary tank's at 90 psi. My primary tank's at 90 psi. So it took about 59 seconds for me to reach the appropriate air pressure. Just gonna build a little bit more pressure so I have enough air later on when I do my brake application. The governor should unload between 105 to 135. So I'm just gonna build pressure so that we hear our governor unload. Getting close to about 135 now. There's my governor unloading. This is my in-cab inspection. I'm now going to go do my mechanical inspection. Okay. I'm going to turn off the truck. Okay. I'm going to do my mechanical inspection. So I'm going to turn the truck off. I'm going to turn on my lights. And I'm going to release my brakes. My wheels are chocked for safety. So I have my tie rod, it's connected both sides, bolts are present, there's no cracks or damage. I have my transmission case here. There are no cracks or damage or leaks. My battery box, air compressor, and 2 air tanks mounted securely, no cracks or damage. Air lines are connected, there's no cracks or leaks. I have my exhaust, it's mounted securely, there's no cracks or damage. My DEF fuel tank is mounted securely, there's no damage or leaks. All my air and electrical lines are connected, there is no cracks or leaks. There's no damage to the frame, and the cross beams are in place. I have 2 fuel tanks both sides. Straps are present, there's no cracks or leaks. I have my exhaust pipe mounted securely, there's no damage. My first drive shaft mounted securely, there's no excessive play, it's connected by a U-joint and a steady bearing. Steady bearing here, there's no excessive play, mounted securely. I have my wet tank here, it's mounted securely, air lines are connected, there's no leaks or damage.
So go.
Okay, got my second drive shaft here, mounted securely, there's no excessive play, connected by U-joint and steady bearing, no damage. I have 2 brake chambers here. They're mounted securely both sides. Air lines connected. No leaks or damage. Check my push rod travel. Both sides is within 3/4 of an inch. I have my differential. It is secure. There's no leaks or damage. I have suspension both sides. Front, rear hangers, leaf springs, and U-bolt connected to the axle, no cracks or damage. I have 2 shocks, both sides mounted securely, there's no leaks or damage. I have 2 airbags both sides mounted securely. There's no leaks or damage. Both inner hubs, no leaks. Both inner rims, no cracks or damage. Both inner tires, no bulges, cracks or damage. Drive shaft here, mounted securely, connected by U-joints both sides. No excessive play. There's no damage to the frame. Cross beams are in place. Air and electrical lines are stowed, no cracks or damage. 2 more brake chambers, both sides mounted securely, with air lines connected, no cracks or leaks. Checking push rod travel. Both sides, push rod travels within 3/4 of an inch. I have my next differential here. It's secure and there's no cracks or leaks. I have 2 shocks, both sides. They're mounted securely, there's no leaks. 2 airbags, both sides, they're mounted securely, there's no leaks or damage. I have my suspension, both front and rear hangers. Leaf springs and U-bolts connected to the axle, both sides, no damage. There's no leaks on both inner hubs, no cracks or damage to both inner rims, and no bulges, cracks, or damage to both inner tires. So, license plate light is working. Marker lights and 4-way flashes are working. Both mud flaps are mounted securely, they're not touching the ground. There's no damage to the frame of the tractor. The 5th wheel jaws are locked and there's no daylight between the trailer and the 5th wheel. All cross beams are in place on the trailer. There's no damage. Air and electrical trailer, there's no damage. The landing gear frame and supports are mounted securely, there's no damage. Landing gear handle is stowed. Go on down the trailer here. All cross beams are present all the way down the trailer. My air lines and electrical lines are stowed, they're not touching the ground. You have 2 brake chambers here, they're mounted securely. There's no damage. Air lines are connected both sides, there's no leaks or damage. Checking my push rod travel. Push rod travel both sides is within 3/4 of an inch. Have my air tank here, it's mounted securely, there's no damage, air lines are connected, there's no leaks. My suspension, both sides, I have the front and rear hangers, leaf springs and U-bolts connected to the axle, no damage. There's no damage to the axles or the frame of the trailer. Both inner hubs, both sides, no leaks. Inner rims, no cracks or damage. Inner tires, no bulges, cracks or damage. Both sides. Alright, I have 2 more brake chambers here. They're mounted securely. There's no damage. Air lines are connected both sides, no leaks or damage. Checking my push rod travel. Push rod travel both sides is within 3/4 of an inch. My suspension, both front and rear hangers, both sides, leaf spring and U-bolts connected to the axle, no cracks or damage. Both inner hubs, no leaks. Inner rims, no cracks or damage. Inner tires, no bulges, cracks or damage, both sides. No damage to the frame. The remaining cross beams are in place for the trailer. Mud flaps are present. They're secure, not touching the ground. This truck is equipped with automatic slack adjusters. If I were to have a manual slack adjuster to adjust it, there would be a sheath on this nut. You would pull the sheath back. You would tighten the nut in the opposite direction of the S-cam so it's fully tight. When it's fully tight, you want to turn the opposite direction about 3/4 of a turn and then check your push rod travel to make sure it's within 3/4 of an inch. But we do not adjust automatic slack adjusters. So there's no damage. My marker lights are working, my four-way flashes are working, license plate lights working, license plate secure, and the DOT tape's all in place, and the marker lights are working. No damage on the back of the trailer. I'm now going to do my 360 walk around. Come to the front.
Okay, perfect.
My 360. Look at the front of the tractor here. My headlights are working. Four-way flashers. My marker lights are all working. There's no damage to the front of the tractor. I'm now going to turn on my high beams, put on my driver's side signal, and apply the brakes. I no longer need to be underneath the truck. My high beams are working. No damage to the front of the tractor. My hood, grill, bumper, and license plate are secure. Tow hood secure. My hood-mounted mirror and front headlamp is secure. Driver's side signal is working. No damage to the front of the tractor. Driver's side signal is working. Driver's side mirror, footstep, and mud flap mounted securely. Driver's side door opens. Grab handles in place. Rocky box opens. Driver's side door closes. No damage to the side of the tractor. Tractor box opens and closes. No damage to the back of the tractor. I have 2 shocks and 2 airbags for the cab. They're mounted securely. There's no leaks or damage. I have my grab handle, my deck plate, footstep, and fender mounted securely. No damage. There's no damage to the frame. Air and electrical lines are stowed. They're not touching anything. No damage. No daylight between the trailer and the 5th wheel. The trailer sliding pins in the lock position. Center bolts in the lock position. There's no pins missing on the 5th wheel slide. No bolts missing. No cracks or damage. There's no rocks or debris in between all 4 tires. Good air pressure, even wear, good tread, all 4 tires. No bulges, cracks, or damage to the outside of the tire. No cracks or damage to the rim. All lug nuts are tight and secure. And there's no leaks on the outer hub. No bulges, cracks, or damage to the outside of the tire. No cracks or damage to the rim. All lug nuts are tight and secure. And there's no leaks on the outer hub. No damage to the front of the trailer. DOT tape's present. Marker lights working. Load is secure. All the cross beams are present all the way down the trailer. There's none missing, no damage. All DOT tapes in place all the way down the trailer. And all the marker lights are working and the driver's side signal is working. Driver's side signal is working on the tractor. Landing gear handle is stowed. Load is secure. Load is secure. Trailer slide is in the lock position. Handle's in the lock position. Load is secure. No rocks or debris in between all 4 tires. Good air pressure, even wear, good tread, all 4 tires. No bulges, cracks, or damage to the outside of the tire. No cracks or damage to the rim. All lug nuts are tight and secure. There's no leaks to the outer hub. No bulges, cracks, or damage to the outside of the tire. No cracks or damage to the rim. All lug nuts are tight and secure. There's no leaks on the outer hub. Mud flap secure. Marker lights present. Driver's side signal is working. DOT tapes in place, no damage to the back of the tractor. Marker lights are working. I'm going to go into the cab and apply the brakes. If you can give me a thumbs up to let me know they're working. I'm going to put on the passenger signal.
Good.
Signal is working. There is no damage on the side of the trailer. All VST tape's in place. All the marker lights are present and working. And the passenger side signal is working on the trailer and the tractor. Load is secure. Trailer sliding pin is in the lock position. There's no rocks or debris in between all 4 tires. Good air pressure, even wear, good tread, all 4 tires. No bulges, cracks, or damage to the outside of the tire. No cracks or damage to the rim. All lug nuts are tight and secure. There's no leaks on the outer hub. No bulges, cracks, or damage to the outside of the tire. No cracks or damage to the rim. All lug nuts are tight and secure. And there's no leaks on the outer hub. All the cross beams are present all the way down the trailer. There's no damage. Load is secure. Load is secure. Load is secure. The fifth wheel slide. There's no cracks or damage. All the pins are present. All the bolts are present. There's no rocks or debris in between all 4 tires. Good air pressure. Even wear. Good tread. No bulges, cracks, or damage to the outside of the tire. No cracks or damage to the rim. All lug nuts are tight and secure. No leaks on the outer hub. No bulges, cracks, or damage to the outside of the tire. No cracks or damage to the rim. All lug nuts are tight and secure. And there's no leaks on the outer hub. And there's no damage to the frame. The mud flap mounted securely with the chain mount mounted securely. Diesel tank cap is tight, seal is present. I check it when I refuel. Passenger mirror, footstep, and mud flap mounted securely. Passenger door opens, grab handles in place. Jockey box opens. Passenger side door closes. I have chains and other supplies in here. Jockey box closes. Passenger side signal's working. No damage to the side of the tractor or the front of the tractor. Passenger side hood mount mirror and headlamp mounted securely. Passenger side signal is working. This is my 360 walk around. I'm now going to go in and do my 4 brake application. To be doing my 4 brake application, I'm going to start my engine here. Put my truck in gear. I'm going to do my trailer brakes first. I'm going to do my tractor brakes. Now I'm going to do my foot valve. Still wait for my brakes to release there. Foot valve works. And I'm going to check my there we go. Hand valve works. That's my 4 brake application. Brake application. I'm going to fill out the paperwork. And that completes my pre-trip inspection.